What's next in the conflict is pretty serious this time. Now, the stakes are too high, and this is the time when we would be seeing a head-on collision between Russia and Germany. And one of them won't survive, but how? Let's ask Peter Zeihan to answer this question, whether Germany won't survive without Russian energy, or will it be the end of the Russian monopoly over the energy market? Peter Zeihan is an American geopolitical analyst and author, and today, he will join us on a cold but serious issue between Germany and Russia.
The German system has 4 pillars of support, and without all 4, it doesn't work. Number 1, inexpensive energy supplies from Russia. It's the only place that the Germans can get the stuff cheap, and it forms the basis of their heavy industry, which provides the materials for their medium and their light industries. So if something happens in the base level, it's not just that they have a problem with electricity, although they do. It's that they no longer have the materials that's necessary to make plastics or to forge steel or to do anything downstream of that. The Nord Stream pipeline went offline yesterday. There's a concern, a very real concern, that it's never going to come back on. What's going on right now is that the Russians are trying to blackmail the Germans into backing out of NATO. It's that simple. Because without German assistance, there are no logistical means of getting equipment from the rest of NATO into Ukraine. End of story. So the Germans are being forced to decide between being industrialized and neutral or unindustrialized and Western. Not a fun conversation to have. The Germans are the fastest aging society in Europe. They're in the top 5 globally. Germany is not a country where you can have an open, honest, national conversation about population policy. And it shows. And so they now have more people in their 60s than their 50s, than their 40s, than their 30s, than their 20s. Until now, this has worked. Because when you have a lot of people in your 40s, 50s, and early 60s without kids, they can work long, they can work hard, they can get better educated, they're the most productive workers on the planet. But that group that is in the 60s is now flipping into retirement this decade, and that changes things overnight, going from an advanced worker base with lots of experience to a retired worker base where the experience is irrelevant. That happens this decade. That was always going to happen this decade. This was always going to be the last decade of the German manufacturing model. Third, it's not just about the Germans. A successful manufacturing system requires different stages of production with different workforces, with different skill sets at different costs. The Americans do this with Mexico. The Germans do this with Poland and the Czech Republic and Romania and Ukraine. And it's now over. And then finally, you need globalization. Because when you have an advanced population that's top-heavy, you don't have enough people to consume. You have to export the stuff. And the Americans have lost interest. So it's not just Nord Stream. That's just the proximate cause of the day. All 4 of these pillars were already breaking. The demographic ones were definitely going to break completely this decade. With the Americans, it all depends upon our mood. And then, of course, the Russians are just forcing things into the light right now. So the German manufacturing model cannot survive the 2020s.
Peter Zeihan said that the whole German model that has kept it floating is standing on 4 pillars. And if one of those is pushed or pulled, the German system will collapse. The first pillar is the cheap energy coming from Russia in the form of natural gas. Germany was getting natural gas lowest prices from Russia through Nord Streams 1 and 2. That energy empowered heavy industries that produce both heavy products and raw materials for medium and small industries. But we are seeing that the Nord Stream has been disrupted frequently, testing Germany's manufacturing model flexibility. Without natural gas, Germany cannot sustain its heavy industries and cannot have raw materials like steel or plastic for medium and small industries. And without them, Germany won't stand at all. The second pillar was the strong and young workforce, which is today aging. In Germany, more people are aged 50 and 60 than those aged 30 and 40. Yet, there are more people aged 30 and 40 than people aged 20. The disturbed demographics show that Germany now lacks the working class that earlier used to drive its industries. With most of the population retiring, the German system will feel the strain, and things will get worse when an energy problem is added. The third pillar on which the German system stood was the diverse workforce offering different skill sets. Germany didn't manufacture only using the German population, Rather, it offered lucrative opportunities for the workforce from Poland, Romania, and Ukraine. In turn, it used to get an affordable workforce to increase manufacturing. However, today, it can no longer get a workforce from these countries because these countries themselves are suffering from an aging population. They don't have a strong surplus workforce to offer to Germany, leaving Germany's workforce deficient. And the fourth pillar is globalization. Germany, in the past, was manufacturing a massive quantity of quality products. It didn't have a massive consuming population, thus, it had to export goods, taking advantage of globalization. But today, the US is no longer on the table to reinforce globalization. Today, Germany cannot sell its goods to any country it wants because America isn't offering secure maritime routes for free trade. Without these four pillars, there is no German model. And as Peter Zeihan said, the German model will fall this decade not because of Russia's natural gas, but because of the falling of all these four pillars. Russia may survive without selling its natural gas to Germany, but Germany cannot survive. Peter Zeihan said the German model could not survive 2022, and we will see this in the last 22 months. Russia will decide what will happen to Germany. What do you think? Which country cannot survive the coming conflict, Germany or Russia? Comment your answer in the comment section right below. If you loved the video, make sure to give it a like and share it. To watch more videos about the latest news and stories about global events, subscribe to our channel. Until the next video, stay tuned.